Doc Ellis died at 63 from liver disease, but how he lived was both sad and inspiring. This Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher became famous for claiming he threw a no-hitter while high on LSD. But his story goes much deeper than that wild moment. Ellis was born in Los Angeles in 1945. He started drinking and using drugs at just 14 years old. During high school, he got caught smoking marijuana in the bathroom. The school gave him a choice: get expelled or join the baseball team. That decision changed everything. Despite his early troubles, Ellis had amazing talent. He played 12 seasons in Major League Baseball from 1968 to 1979. His best years came with the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he helped win the 1971 World Series. That same year, he made the All-Star team and won 19 games. Ellis finished his career with 138 wins and 119 losses. He had a 3.46 ERA and struck out 1,136 batters. These numbers show he was truly gifted on the mound. But his biggest fame came from one bizarre game on June 12, 1970. That day, Ellis pitched a no-hitter against the San Diego Padres. Years later, he claimed he was high on LSD during the entire game. He said he took the drug on Thursday, but thought it was still Thursday when he took more on Friday. Then someone reminded him he had to pitch that night. Ellis described a surreal experience. He said he couldn't feel the baseball or see the batter clearly. The ball looked like it was changing size. His catcher, Jerry May, had to use reflective tape on his fingers so Ellis could see the signals. Despite walking 8 batters, Ellis completed the no-hitter with help from great defense. Some people believed his story. Others thought he made it up. Bob Smisak, who first reported the story in 1984, believed Ellis. But other reporters who were at the game said Ellis seemed normal. They noted his late arrival would have been obvious to everyone there. Whether true or not, the LSD story became Ellis's biggest claim to fame. He later regretted this because it overshadowed everything else he accomplished. The story fit with his reputation as baseball's most rebellious player. Ellis was known for his wild behavior on and off the field. In August 1973, he walked onto Wrigley Field wearing hair curlers during warm-ups. This shocked his teammates and manager Bill Verdon. Commissioner Bowie Kuhn ordered him to stop, threatening fines and suspension. Ellis complained this was a racial double standard, pointing out that white players like Joe Pepitone wore hairpieces without punishment. The following year, Ellis intentionally hit 3 Cincinnati Reds batters in the first inning: Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, and Dan Dreesen. He openly admitted he was trying to hit every Reds player he faced. The Reds had made insulting comments about the Pirates, and Ellis wanted revenge. Both teams sued each other, but the charges were eventually dropped. Ellis also burned his pitching charts in the clubhouse while playing for Oakland in 1977. This triggered the sprinkler system. He called this the craziest thing he ever did during his career. These incidents made Ellis look like just a troublemaker. But there was much more to his story. He was actually fighting important battles for racial equality and player rights. Ellis was one of the most vocal black players of his era. He constantly spoke out against racism in baseball. In 1971, he started when the Pirates fielded the first all-black lineup in MLB history. This was a powerful statement about black talent in the sport. Jackie Robinson himself wrote Ellis a letter praising his courage. Robinson said Ellis was making real contributions by standing up for what was right. Fellow player Willie Crawford noted that Ellis fought for equality while still playing, even though it put his job at risk. Ellis also served as a player representative for multiple teams, including the Pirates, Yankees, and Rangers. He was part of the core group that helped implement free agency in baseball. During one confrontation with Texas Rangers manager Billy Hunter, Ellis resigned as player rep after Hunter told him to sit down and shut up. Ellis famously replied that his father was the last man who could tell him that. The team owner sided with Ellis, and Hunter was eventually fired. But Ellis's biggest battle was with himself. He struggled with severe addiction throughout his career. He claimed he never pitched a game without using amphetamines like Benzedrine and Dixamyl. He needed 70 to 85 milligrams per game just to perform. By the late 1960s, he was also using cocaine regularly. The pressure of being labeled a can't-miss prospect made things worse. Ellis used drugs to cope with the stress and expectations. His substance abuse affected his relationships with teammates and managers. It also contributed to the end of his marriages. Ready to catch every moment of today's baseball action? Just like Ellis challenged the game's norms, You can break from ordinary TV with FUBO, your ultimate sports streaming destination. Stream every game live and never miss the excitement. Get started with FUBO today. Ellis's addiction shortened his career and damaged his health. Friends and family believed his heavy drinking and drug use could have hurt many people around him. The substances took a toll on both his physical and mental health. Ellis himself said he had a chance to injure a lot of lives because of his drug use. His erratic behavior became worse when he was using drugs and alcohol. This created conflicts with managers and teammates throughout his career. The addiction affected every part of his life, making him unpredictable and difficult to work with. But Ellis's story doesn't end with addiction and controversy. In 1980, after retiring from baseball, he made the most important decision of his life. He entered drug treatment and achieved sobriety. He stayed clean for the rest of his life. Ellis sought help from former pitcher Don Newcomb, who specialized in addiction counseling. He spent a month and a half at an Arizona treatment facility. This marked the beginning of his transformation from troubled athlete to dedicated advocate. After getting sober, Ellis devoted his life to helping others fight addiction. He worked in treatment centers and prisons across the country. He became director of the Substance Abuse Program at the California Institute for Behavioral Medicine in Los Angeles. He also worked as a drug counselor in Victorville, California. Ellis counseled current MLB players struggling with addiction. As recently as 2005, he was teaching weekly classes for people convicted of driving under the influence. His commitment to helping others never stopped. Even during his playing days, Ellis showed his caring side. He regularly visited Pittsburgh's Western Penitentiary in the early 1970s to offer advice to inmates and advocate for prison reform. After sobriety, this work became his life's mission. Ellis became a powerful motivational speaker. He spoke to young people and inmates about avoiding drugs and learning from his mistakes. He often became emotional during these talks, sharing how addiction had damaged his relationships and career. In 1971, Ellis co-founded the Black Athletes Foundation for Sickle Cell Research, alongside other Black athletes. This was personal for him since he was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia at age 17. The foundation raised money for research and treatment of this serious condition. Ellis's transformation was remarkable. Filmmaker Jeffrey Radice called him a flawed hero, whose heroic quality came from his ability to take stock of who he was and make changes by confronting his addiction. Radice's film aimed to foster deeper respect for Ellis as a man and human being. Despite his charitable work and counseling efforts, Ellis struggled with public perception. Many people still saw him as just a hostile ball player. His acts of charity and conscience often went unpublicized. The media preferred to focus on his controversial moments rather than his positive contributions. This shows how hard it can be to overcome a controversial past, even when someone makes genuine positive changes. Ellis's legacy remains split between his sensational stories and his meaningful transformation. His post-retirement work as an addiction counselor was not just a career choice, but a deeply personal mission. He used his past mistakes as powerful teaching tools, which gave him unique credibility when helping others. This showed that his flawed past became his greatest asset in his second career. Ellis died on December 19, 2008, at age 63. Liver disease from his years of heavy drinking ultimately claimed his life. Even decades of sobriety couldn't undo all the damage from his earlier substance abuse. His death was a reminder of addiction's long-term effects. But Ellis's later life proved that people can overcome their worst struggles and help others do the same. Doc Ellis was far more than his controversies. He was a talented pitcher, brave activist, and dedicated counselor. His journey from addiction to advocacy shows that even flawed heroes can shine a light for others. His story reminds us that redemption is always possible, no matter how far someone has fallen. Ellis challenged racism, fought for player rights, and ultimately saved countless lives through his counseling work. That's the legacy that truly matters.